before I even get into any of this other stuff, I am sitting in a completely sterilized studio.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our 5th episode of the Future of Intermodal. As you can see, I'm at my home in San Pedro. Today's episode will be a little bit different. We're going to be doing a public service announcement regarding the ongoing concerns of the COVID-19 virus. Live from our studio in Southgate, California, our host, Mr. Frank Sanzala. Frank?
Thank you, Natalia. Wow. What the heck is going on in the world? Let's talk about the epidemic called COVID-19 or coronavirus or whatever you want to call it. It's terrible and it's very difficult because no one has ever seen it before, and it has rapidly changed our world around us. I know all of you watching it all over the country and North America, especially Canada and the United States. The shelves in the supermarkets are empty. And of course, the big joke is no toilet paper, right? But it's not a joke. People are hoarding and stocking up. And they're doing it for a good reason. They don't know when everything is going to be shut down. Just 2 nights ago, the state of California shut down most of the businesses in California that were non-essential to transportation of goods and services, or being part of the infrastructure to take care of what is going on. Fire departments, police departments, construction workers that are fixing highways or something else. What we are is a manufacturer of chassis, and we are a distributor of chassis, and we flourish with a distribution network throughout North America. So keep in mind, we're doing this because we want all of our employees to be as healthy as possible, to be as safe as possible, and for their families to have the same thing. So we've been told to wash our hands. We've been told to cover our mouths, not with just your hand, because now you put your hand out there to someone else. No handshaking. Marcos, when you get a chance, put up on the screen the little badge that everybody is wearing. I should be wearing the badge right now, I guess, but I didn't put it on for the podcast. But anyone walks into our place from the outside, whether it's a mailman, FedEx, UPS, whatever, when they come in, they see everyone with a badge that says no handshaking, and no sneezing and coughing without covering your mouth, and also sanitize, washing your hands, and taking care of yourself. So that is just, I'm just giving that background because you've heard it a million times. You know, the precautions that CIE has taken, hand sanitizers located in the headquarters and technical center everywhere. And we have electronic ones, so you don't have to touch anything, you don't have to pick up the bottle, anything like this. You put your hand underneath, you get a squirt, you get the stuff all over your hands, you walk away. We have signs informing people what to do all over. We are running videos of noted doctors and actually researchers, scientists, that are working on this, talking about the virus and telling you what you should do, what you shouldn't do, and how to stay out of problems. However, when you sat down, and we sat down with our CEC, which is our management group, we have taken this very, very seriously. But I want this to be a little bit educational, that we spent a lot of time to make this happen. So everybody is getting something every day to remind them what they're supposed to do and what is going on. That is why the state of California, and now I think New York has been doing the same thing, because they have high incident ratings and they have high areas that have more outbreaks than some other parts of our country. But you know, you can't just do this at work. You're spending half the time at work, and when you're spending that time, you basically are getting the best of what we can handle here. But when you leave and go home, you can't forget about what you're doing. You have to sanitize in your house. You have to wash your hands. You have to, doorknobs, railings, everything that we're getting done here should be done at home. You can laugh at this one, but I actually do this. When I wash my hands, I sing the happy birthday song twice. And that gives me the 20 seconds of hot water and soap to make sure I'm doing it at least that long. There was my youngest son, Chance, showed me a video that showed what 5 seconds were, 10 seconds were, 15 seconds were, and 20 seconds were on people doing hand washing with soap and water, hot, and basically how many germs were left over. 20 plus seconds, 2 happy birthday songs. And if you haven't heard the happy birthday song, I'll sing it for you. But I think you all should know that in any language. Okay, you can do it in Spanish, in Polish, in whatever, Chinese and English. It doesn't make any difference. You use an alcohol-based sanitizer to release 60% alcohol. I've used so much sanitizer, I think I got a hangover. No, I'm kidding, I'm just kidding. It's just cover your cough, sneeze, dishes. Well, you should have been doing that since you were 2 years old. I mean, our parents told us from the time that we started to have a cold, a cough, a flu, whatever, cover your mouth, don't sneeze out, no, blah, blah, blah. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, mouth, and your face in general. This is my hardest one for me. This is so hard for me. What can you do? I say it right there, I want to go touch my face. So.
Thank you so much, Frank. We're now going to pause for a commercial break.
This is a memo that went out on St. Patrick's Day, March 17th. And what about St. Patrick's Day? Every bar and everything was closed down. There was no green beer. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that it's so different than every other St. Patrick's Day I've spent my entire life with people celebrating St. Patrick's, celebrating the Irish, and having a nice break during our Lenten season. You know, being a Catholic, and there's so many religions, so I'm just saying I'm a Catholic, and Lent is sometimes you give up during the 6 weeks of Lent something. It looks like we gave up everything. I mean, I've given up sports, television, you know, St. Patrick's Days, and it's all for a good cause to get rid of this virus, okay? So these are tough times. Be it as it may, we have to continue to do the right thing and follow these rules and guidelines. But here's what we started to do. We have over 1,000 safety masks in-house to be put over. And I have mine right here. And then you just take it, you put it on over your ears, under your chin. And now you have protection if you are sick, and not with the virus, or with the virus, but you might not know it. You have it on your face because you may have a cold and you don't want to sneeze unexpectedly while you're carrying your computer or something like this, or driving your car and you got a passenger right next to you that could get disease from you. So that's one thing. We have 1,000 safety masks in house. Every office has hand sanitizers. I said that before. The signs, and basically, this is a picture of a video that was being done by this lady that is very, very knowledgeable, and she really breaks it down to what this virus is all about and how it can be stopped and how it can be taken care of. I highly recommend it. We have that going on in the break rooms, the lunch rooms, and the hallways throughout the company. So anybody can stop, take 5 minutes to watch this, or sit down, have their lunch, and watch this whole thing. It's a half hour long. Okay, that'll be available on our website shortly, probably even before you get you see this podcast. Doorknobs, kitchen counters, appliances, all disinfected twice daily. We have separated our work start hours as follows. 50% of the factory workers come in at 6 a.m. in the morning like they always did and have a 10 o'clock lunch. 50% now come in at 6:30 and have a 10:30 lunch. Well, what does that do? That takes and thank God when we did our remodeling over here in the tech center and took care of business, we built a very large lunchroom for our very large population of people, that they could sit in there, have their lunch, watch television, have fresh water every day that comes from our wellness machines. We have wellness machines that are making alkaline water every day, hot and cold. So they have the best of everything in these rooms. But we can't put all those people together because that's not the right way to do it today. So by having 50% of the workers come in earlier, the lunchrooms have 50% more space. We spread them out. We prevent something from happening between the air and the talking. It's something you have to do today. You cannot just go and do the same thing over and over like you did before. The whole world has changed. The breaks are also separated. No one takes the breaks at the same time. So they have basically areas that they can go to, and they can go to by their group, and their group has to stay apart. We have indoctrinated people with an education in this process at our company, like we do everything else for the process control, for manufacturing, assembly, you name it, even the parts department and everything else. I'm not sure if you're hearing me very well because of this mask, so I'm going to take it off. Once again, I am in a room that is very, very safe, very, very sanitized. Marcus is the only engineer in here, and he is more than 6 feet away from me at all times. Oh, you think I need this?
Just in case, sir.
Oh, just in case. Okay, thank you, Marcus. We're trying to do the best we can. All our meetings, we have a 6 to 60 meeting every Wednesday morning, 8 a.m. We have multiple meetings on production between our Emporia factory and our Southgate factory. Everything is done by WebEx. WebEx. You can see charts, graphs, trends, whatever, and the person that's taking care of business in their area, in your area, all at the same time. Never have more than 4 people in a conference room. We have a conference rooms, both of them are very big size. We could put 12 people around the table. We only have 4, so everybody has a big distance. We're going to use common sense in everything we do here to be safe and healthy.
Is the trade war back on?
Trade war.
Trade war, full-blown trade war.
15% tariffs on $112 billion worth of goods.
Hours earlier, China announced tariffs of 5 and 10% on U.S. products.
Well, thank you. We're back now from the commercial break, our commercial break actually, and I wanted to clarify something. You've probably heard several things during the first 2 segments of this podcast repeated over and over and over again. I call that the rule of infinite teaching. If you don't repeat it again, repeat it again, and repeat it again, you're not going to get through to your subject why they have to know what you're talking about. Because the first time you say it, it may just go right over their head. Second time you say it, they're going to say, I already heard that. The third time you say it, they're going to say, I've heard that twice now. What's he trying to do? The fourth time you say it, they're going to say, I got it, Frank. I got it, okay? Don't tell me anymore. And then I'm going to say it again. Because that's how you get people, whether you're in sales, or whether you're in training, whether you're in teaching, get them to understand that this is more important than just brushing it over. Enough said. I'm just trying to clear everything up, because I usually get called on the carpet a lot from my peers and employees that say, you don't have to tell me another time, and I'll tell them another time. So I think we've covered everything pretty much that we needed to do to tell you about what we're doing for our employees and everyone else. Actually, this is an interesting thing before I get into the very, very end of our segment. The CISA. This is the guidance for the essential critical infrastructure workforce, ensuring community and national resilience in COVID-19 response. This was published by the Department of Homeland Security. I have the full copy of it here, and within this full copy, these highlighted sections, I don't know if you can see it or not, these highlighted sections, there are 7 sections in here that our company complies to, that gives us the ability to remain open and to have all these other safeguards in place. Once again, we are very, very happy to do this. As long as the port stays open, we're going to be able to support them and basically take care of business, not as usual, but with that being said, call your mortgage company. Find out if they're complying with anything that has been said in the Congress and the Senate and with the government. Will they suspend your mortgage payments 1 or 2 months? And If they do, are you going to have to pay 3 months of mortgage payments when you come back? Yes, you'll have to pay the 3 months, but do you have to pay them immediately? Because that's not going to be a good program. So find that out for yourself. Don't get caught with not knowing that and thinking that, oh, you can not pay your mortgage and have a problem. Mortgage, rent, phone bill. I mean, all of this stuff is supposedly going to be somehow put on abeyance, and then it's all going to come back squeaky clean and good. I don't think so. I'm not being negative on it. I'm just saying, got to be aware. You 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 got to be aware. So find out. Take the time to figure it out before you say, "Oh, this is a great thing." Remember, nothing is free. Every time we have a podcast, we have something entertaining, something that means something different, whether talking about someone's personal life or what sporting events they like. We can't do that. There's nobody sitting on the couch, okay? So, yesterday, an angel, a songstress, Rain, came into our studio, sat where I'm sitting here. It was disinfected for her, as it was disinfected for me, and sang a song in her own style with Sean, a absolute great guitarist, sitting more than 6 feet away on also a disinfected couch. And we're going to play that song for you right now. And as soon as that is over, we're going to come right back to me so we can close this podcast in the way we always do. Listen to this.
How you feeling, Sean? So? For those of you tuning in, we're just going to perform a song for you guys. Today I got Marcos running the session. I got Sean playing the guitar for us. My name is Rainby Zoo. Y'all ready? Though you may not drive a great big Cadillac, gangster white walls, TV antennas in the back. You may not have a car at all, but remember, brothers and sisters, you can still stand tall. Just be thankful for what you got. Though you may not drive a great big Cadillac, diamond in the back, some rooftop, digging the scene with a gangster lean, gangster white wall, TV antennas in the back. You may not have a car at all, but remember, brothers and sisters, you can still stand tall. Break it down. A diamond in the back, some rooftop, digging the same with a gangster lean. Ooh, A diamond in the back, some rooftop, digging the same with a gangster lean. Ooh. One more time. A diamond in the back, some rooftop, digging the same with a gangster lean. Ooh. Hey, a diamond in the back, some rooftop, digging the same with a gangster lean. Ooh. Come on, Sean.
I want a bit of shout out to Rain and a clap for her. That was a rendition of a song that everyone knows, done different than I've ever heard it before, and she's a very good person. Think about it. She makes her life singing to people in restaurants, bars, in concert halls, and that's all shut down for her. We were glad that she came in and gave her time to us, and we'll definitely have her in the future for any of our events after this whole virus is over. So, with that being said, it's time to take the tie off. And let me tell you a little bit about this tie. This tie was purchased in Vatican City, Rome, many years ago. And if you look at this, I said to the street merchant that I bought it from, I think back there was for 20 lira or something like that. It was not very expensive. I said, what is this design? And he said, this is the design of Roma. The Roma design is a lion with wings. And I thought to myself after I bought it, this is perfect. In those days, I was just a salesman. I was doing my sales chores all the time. And I thought to myself, this is a sales tie. So every time I wore this into a special sales meeting with a major customer, at the end of a presentation, I would say, the tie I wore today has the symbol of Rome. Rome was a civilization that was fantastic over the world. And when I bought this tie, I found out that this is the symbol of Rome, and it is a flying lion. So, everything I just told you today, if you don't believe it's true, then I'd be lying. So I'm flying. That's how it came about. So, let me take this off. I got to take off the clip here for my, actually I'll put it over here. I probably haven't making all kinds of crazy noise that Martha's going to be mad at. But I'm taking my tie off. And this one is going up. It's going up here on the lampshade for the end, number 5. And thank you very much, everybody, for watching this. Please send us any messages, email, text messages, go to our website, comment. Let us know if this helped you out at all. Let us know what you thought about it. And I'm hoping we can do our 6th podcast with a couch full of people that are interesting, more interesting than me being out here, and letting me do what I do better than make these speeches, is to ask people questions and find out more about them and their lives. So with that being said, this is going up on the lampshade, which I think is one of the best purchases I ever made. I don't know why, but it just means so much. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we are out of here.